I am Zainab Yate and I'm the author of When Breastfeeding Sucks, What You Need to Know About Nursing Aversion and Agitation. I am a biomedical ethicist and I'm vice chair of a health research committee panel in the UK for the Health Research Authority. I've also been a breastfeeding peer supporter for many years, and I currently run the only resource website for mothers struggling with breastfeeding or nursing aversion. And this is a phenomena whereby breastfeeding appears to trigger particular negative emotions like anger, agitation, irritation, and a skin itching or crawling sensation, and also some particular intrusive thoughts like feeling like a prisoner when breastfeeding, or an urge to delatch your nursling and run away. It's a very distressing and often unwanted phenomena where mothers don't really know why it's happening. The reason I wrote this book is because there are so few answers out there about aversion, and there's very, very little literature. And over the years of supporting thousands of mothers and families when breastfeeding does trigger negative emotions, I saw that there were particular trends and patterns in why aversion was happening in some groups of women, and also what can help them. This book covers my biopsychosocial theory of the phenomena. So this is psychological, physiological and societal aspects that when taken together could mean that aversion as a phenomena can manifest and arise. I look at aversion in the context of a mother who mothers through breastfeeding, and by this I outline two concepts to put breastfeeding in context for the mothers that struggle with aversion. And the first one is looking at nurture, where I take the Arabic word for milk or breast milk, and I look at all its stem root words, and I do a short analysis on that to show that milk is much more than nourishment and food, and how far it extends into the life of a breastfeeding mother. And the second concept I look at is skinship, which is a Japanese concept that describes the closeness, the invisible bond that comes with skin-on-skin contact and proximity. And when understanding these in modernity, we can understand why aversion may arise. Our systems of education and work do not fit well into mothering in the early intensive years of childcare, and the homemaker is not respected in modern life. Centuries of idealizing mothering and a mother's role have created phantasms of what love as a mother entails and how breastfeeding ought to be experienced. But for many, they are just not true. Breastfeeding is painful and boring and frustrating, and although you do not have to like breastfeeding to do it, you do have to be committed to be able to do it through challenging phases of breastfeeding and to meet the needs of nurslings. Add to this the pressures of modern day life that can inflate inside us over time, like a balloon with air being pumped in. Too much pressure and it will pop. The air will come rushing out. These are our paroxysms of rage when we get aversion. Controlling ourselves is just as hard as being controlled. Refraining from acting on negative emotions and continuing to be responsive when everything inside you is screaming to run away takes great will, a sincere intention, and a strong resolve to continue to breastfeed, to continue to mother through breastfeeding. The battle with aversion is real, which was once described to me as a wave of nausea. Something you didn't know was coming, but once it hit you, you damn well knew it was there. Having aversion tests your intention, your resolve to breastfeed, and your power of self-control as a person. And having a sense of autonomy of your body as a free agent is a sense of being able to do or not do as you wish, is often compromised as a mother. This is important because agency is demonstrated by making these choices. But with aversion, as a breastfeeding mother, you cannot simply decide what happens to your own body there and then. And many mothers find that their internal control and self-governance override what they want or need to do in order to keep giving their nurslings their milk from her body. Recognizing this predicament is something I wanted this book to do, because it's not stated anywhere else like this, and so it's as if this difficulty doesn't exist. So I hope you find this book useful and an interesting read. And thank you for Pinter Martin for publishing it, and for all my colleagues and friends in the infant feeding world who supported and encouraged me to do this.